What's going on, guys? So a little quick video. This is my 2026 Triumph bobber. I was going to flash the ECU, and some of you guys may know there's not a lot of tuners that will flash this ECU. I think it's D&K TuneWorks. They apparently don't have the software for the dyno. It's apparently not capable of doing the Euro 5 stuff for the 26 Triumph bobber. And the only real other option was BT Moto. So I've seen their stuff online. You know, as a YouTube guy or whatever, you kind of go and you see people do videos and dyno runs on bikes that you'll appreciate. So don't really know much about them. They seem like competent tuners and had some cool bikes and some cool stuff that I've seen on their channel. But regardless, more just someone who watched videos on occasion and knew their name but didn't know a lot about them. So I called to inquire a teeny bit. So I probably called a handful of times, probably 3 times, to inquire a little bit because I kept on hearing back and forth stuff. There's not a lot on YouTube or even out there on flashing the 2026 bobber. So really very little information. So I had a lot of questions. A lot of people were telling me certain things, like D&K TuneWorks said it was physically impossible to tune a 2026 bobber. So there's a lot of misinformation that I was getting told. So I called them initially to inquire, and I actually talked to them at one point, seeing if they wanted the barter to do a review or something. Really was excited to see what this thing would do with the flash. So I knew I was going to do some videos on this bike with the flash. So I figured see if they wanted to do a little barter win-win kind of thing, but they weren't interested. I asked them one other time and they totally weren't interested and kind of got snippy at me, and I didn't mean to offend anyone, but a lot of times I do barter with companies, not just for YouTube, just because I'm a professional photographer, content creator. I've been doing it for years and worked with companies like Apple Computer and all kinds of big companies. So to me, all these little kind of things that are 200, 300, 500, 800,000, it's not that big of a deal to do a little barter, maybe give me a percentage off or something, but they seem to get offended almost by me even asking that multiple times. So I get it, no big deal. So I went ahead, ordered it, paid full price, not that big of a deal. You can't hurt if you don't try. It's just kind of a little hustle thing. You see if you can maybe make a simple win-win, as I said. They send me the box. It had this tuner in there and a couple cables, this little red plug for the Euro 5. That goes right here underneath this Triumph cover. So you have to update this first. So there's a pretty elaborate set of instructions, which I downloaded, and I'm a tech guy by heart, so I'm pretty decent with tech, but I'm not a PC guy. I've been an Apple guy forever, for over 30 years. PC is not my thing, so I had to pull out literally a friend's PC sitting in the closet, update his PC. They want you to disable the firewall, the firewall stuff and security, which I think I did right, but at the same time, it seemed to go through and update this correctly, and then from there, you're supposed to go take this thing, plug it into your bike. You're supposed to stand it upright, keep the kickstand up, keep it in neutral, keep the power button or the run button switch on, turn the key on and the ignition on, and then you start the process and you hit a little button called work, select your bike model. I did that and it failed to read my ECU saying I didn't have the correct bike. So there was a lot of hiccups that I was running into. So I thought, okay, I was excited because they had this lean back ride in Chicago and I wanted to get this going for the ride to be able to test it out for the ride and the weekend. So excited customer, that's it, nothing really crazy. So I figured I'd hop on a call in the morning and just sort it out, probably take 5-10 minutes tops. They refused to basically answer the phone or talk to me, so they suggested to go to the email route. So I started sending them emails as I was running into issues. So I don't even know what I sent, 10, 15, 20 emails, but all in the same thread, just so they can kind of see exactly what I was running into, because I had multiple issues and multiple errors, tried multiple bike models. This was not definitely just plug and play and simple, at least not for me. And they seem to have a real attitude about me having an issue. So I don't know what it was, if they got tweaked from me in the beginning just by calling them and asking questions as a new customer in the beginning, because there was a little information out there on the bobber. But what they ended up doing basically is refunding my account without me even really asking them to. I was, in my opinion, super close to getting this done correctly. They actually got the file correctly, which I didn't know, because apparently it did read the file, but it read it in a way that it didn't seem to be the norm. So I uploaded the file not even knowing it was a correct file or if it was a corrupt file. And apparently there was some kind of miscommunication, because they seemed to think I was just bothering them to get me the tuned file when I didn't even know they had a file to work with in the first place. So it's kind of a bummer. I'm really, bummed, because I wanted to tune this thing, and it was as if a customer with issues and hiccups throughout the installation process, like they were getting fed up with me. So I don't know what it is, if it was just some kind of miscommunication, weird little thing, but just be forewarned that if you do go to BT Moto, probably don't bug them or call them much or email them much. I don't know how. I feel like I had to walk on eggshells to even know what to do. And as a paying customer, I think that's really not cool. I wasn't rude. I wasn't, disrespectful in any way. I wasn't being impatient in any way. If anything, I feel they were being extremely impatient with me, simply wanting to see what was going on so I could kind of proceed and get this thing tuned. Then they would have never heard from me again until I had another bike to tune. So now they basically said, you can just dispose of this tuner. They send out a little keychain and sticker and starburst or whatever, a little pack with the box. But now I'm left with a piece of junk I got to throw away in the landfill or recycle at Best Buy. And just kind of a unprofessional way of going about it. I get it if I was a really problematic customer, being rude, disrespectful, super impatient, but I simply was trying to find out more information on the Flash, because there was a lot of stuff I was told that wasn't accurate. So sorry for having some questions initially and maybe calling 2 to 6 times. I don't know what it was, but they seem to be really taking notice of every single time I called as if it was something going against me. So that's not really, again, the way to deal with a customer. I mean, customer service is huge, especially now with all the competition with things. I mean, they probably don't have competition, because I now have nowhere to go to flash this bike. So, oh well, not a big deal. Life will go on. But it's almost like going to a really amazing restaurant and having bad customer service. And again, I'm not talking anything bad about BT Moto, because I don't know the guys. I don't know their work per se. They seem to have a great reputation. I've heard good and bad about everyone and everything. But at the same time, that's the way it is with everyone. So I'm sure they're very capable, quality tuners, but they need to really have a little bit more patience with their customers, because I had no idea I was doing anything wrong that was really getting them upset. If they have a phone call email limit, then they should say something on the website, like, we don't take phone calls ever, and if we do, it's 1 phone call per person. I don't know, but just a very bizarre interaction, and I just want people to understand that they are an option for this bike, but if you are going to go with them, be very careful of your dealings and do not bug them or call them or email them a lot. Again, I really had no idea what to do. They said they wouldn't take a phone call to troubleshoot this with me, to email them. So in my opinion, I was running into all kinds of issues with this tuner not updating, with the software. I had no idea what to do. So I was simply a customer needing help. And I started to document everything, as I said, in this email thread, thinking they can just go and sit with it and look at all the stuff I sent them and then respond back to me with a solution. So just want to let you guys know, I feel it's important just to have stuff out there so people are aware of, when they go to a company, what the experience may be like. And again, you can go to BT Moto. I'm not saying not to, but if you do, be mindful of how many times you call them and how many times you email them, because they are very sensitive to that apparently, and not too sure. So anywho, aloha, Triumph Bobber, probably gonna get rid of it eventually sooner than later anyway, so not that big of a deal. Probably gonna get the 20 or the 40th anniversary GSX-R 1000 RS, which is the one with the winglets. I took out an Aprilia RSV factory the other day. Beautiful bike, but probably not for me. I also took out a BMW S1000RR, Also a cool bike, but I don't think I want to have that much electronic and rider aids on my next bike, even though it's cool. I'm really familiar with the GSX-R platform, and I like a bit more of the rawness in that bike, and that it really doesn't have all the rider aids like the BMW does. I don't want wheelie control and all that stuff. So anywho, just a little quick video. Now I gotta probably just recycle this. And it's kind of lame that they don't even give you basically any option. They just go and refund your account saying we're refusing to work with you. Like, what's that about? I spent $900 with them, and they basically say throw away the device or whatever. And it's just very bizarre. So now I'm stuck with the device where I probably have to recycle it because I don't want to throw it into the landfill, and it's useless to me. And I really wanted to tune my bike. And the crazy thing is they apparently had the file. All they had to do is send me the tuned file, and I would have been fine as long as it would have updated to the bike successfully. So I was so close to being there, and apparently someone dropped the ball on the 1 yard line. So just a little info, throwing it out there so people know. Aloha. Bye.